The Seattle Kraken are the newest team in the NHL, added back in 2021, and so far, so good for their franchise. I mean, they made the playoffs in year 2, beat the defending champs in the Colorado Avalanche, but now it is time for me to win them a Stanley Cup. I have 3 years to do so, as I am going through the NHL and rebuilding every single team. And next up is the Seattle Kraken, so let's see what I can do. The Seattle Kraken, I mean, a pretty mid-forward group overall, honestly. Have some good players like Manny Beniers, who by year 3 will probably be like almost a 90 and be like a Selke trophy candidate. Yanni Gourde is here. Chandler Stevenson is severely overpaid, as well as Jordan Eberle. So maybe we move off of these bad contracts, try to replace them with better younger players who can definitely grow by year 3. I think year number 1, we're not going to be a cup contender, but after that, we can definitely load up for years 2 and 3. And we need a goalie. Joey Daccord, I'm sorry, brother, but you are just not going to cut it. We got to get rid of these contracts right away. Burakovsky and Swartz both making way too much money for the amount of overall they are, so get them the hell out of here. Ducks are fine, so they literally rejected. We literally have to add in a pick just to make sure this trade will go through, so a 4th and a 5th, and there we go. An absolute no-brainer. We get rid of those awful contracts. The first trade, official trade for an actual player, is going to be Korchinski and Reichel from the Blackhawks for Furcus, another prospect, and a first-round pick, and there we go. It seems like a sweet proposal on our end, so the trade has gone through. I'm trying to bag my first line center of the rest of the video. Wyatt Johnston, already an 87 overall for a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and sale from the Seattle Kraken, and they are totally unwilling. So let me see if I add in one more first-round pick. Will this trade go through? I will give you a 2029 first-rounder. And there we go. This is a really good deal for us in Dallas, so definitely we are saying yes to this one. I'm going to try to snag Patty Kane and JT Compher from the Red Wings for Stevenson, Borkstrand, 2/3 and a 2nd-round pick, and they don't want to do that. So maybe if I take away the 3rd and add in another 2nd-rounder, this trade might go through. Let's see. No, they do not. We're a bit off of value. My last time trying to make this work, I added in 3 seconds instead of a 3rd-rounder, and we are saving salary to sign our pending free agent. Now, year number 1, I understand we're not going to be a Stanley Cup contender. We got Johnston, Beniers, and McCain on the first line. Lucas Reichel will slot in nicely beside Borkstrand and Eberle. Our bottom 6 isn't even that bad, to be honest. Defensively, luckily, Korchinski will grow. 77 overall, +5 with him and Dunn. And the rest of our decor is mid. We can definitely improve it. And one of the things I want to do is grab a starting goalie. Joey Daccord, you're fine for year number 1, but for 2 and 3, probably you're out of here, brother. Now, obviously, we did not make the playoffs. We were hovering around 500 basically the entire season. 35, 39, and 8. 78 points, 7th in the Pacific. But, I mean, I didn't expect to be very good this year. I'm ready for years 2 and 3 as the Devils. They will go on and win the President's Trophy. 51 wins, 24 losses, 7 in overtime, and the worst team in the league was, in fact, the Washington Capitals. Only 35 wins, so we were not far from the bottom of the NHL, but hopefully years 2 and 3 will be a lot nicer to us. Wyatt Johnston, dear God, 41 goals, 90 points. He was a -13. Still led our team. Montour had 71. Jarrett McCann had 38. Borkstrand 62. Vince Dunn was decent. Eberle, Stevenson. Where is Shane Wright? I don't think Shane Wright actually played in the NHL, so I probably should have played him, considering now he's going to grow much slower. And Joey Daccord, I mean, a 903 is not great. 4 shutouts is decent. 26 wins is what it is. Connor McDavid will lead the NHL in scoring with 114 points. Crosby had a good season at 36, as well as Aho. Draisaitl was up there, as well as Mitch Marner, 100 points for the first time in his career. Shaq Hyman will lead the NHL in goals with 54. Crosby at 49. Bedard is a rookie at 47. McDavid and Kaprizov were up there, as well as JT Miller. The Vancouver Canucks somehow, some way will go on and win the Stanley Cup. That's how you know we're in NHL 24 and not in real life. Because Vancouver, I don't know if you guys know this or not, they do not have a single Stanley Cup in their entire franchise's history. Quinn Hughes will lead the playoffs in scoring. He had 31 points. Miller 27, also 14 goals. Dear God. Marshy at 27. Past it was pretty good. Aho, Bouchard, and Jarvis are all pretty good point producers in the playoffs. McDavid will win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Hyman, the Maurice Richard, Cale McCarthy, Norris, Hughes, the Conn Smythe, and the Selke will go to Barkov. It is tough going after free agents here in the year number 1 offseason. I mean, Valimaki we could sign, but the best free agent is JVR every single year. Now, what I could have done and what I should have done is started technically in year 2 in this offseason, but I mean, I did most of the NHL so far, so a little too late to change things now. Now, Trevor Zegras is a nice player to go after, add to our second line. He's a playmaker, definitely can add some offensive production. He usually gets like 60 points during the season. We got Chandler Stevenson, get rid of his contract for Zegras. We got a second, and a third. And there we go. If I didn't accept this offer of yours, Anaheim Duck fans will call for my resignation. All right. Now we are trying to complete that first line with Laffy, also picking up Hedel to balance out these salaries. We got Borkstrand, a first, second, and a third round pick. And they are totally unwilling. Okay, so let me see. I'm probably going to have to add in another first rounder. This seems like a sweet proposal on our end. So on the behalf of the New York Rangers organization, I accept. We have Yanni Gourde, a second, third, and two other thirds for Ridley Gregg and Drake Batherson from Ottawa. And there we go. An easy trade to make as we upgrade our forward core heading into season number 2. Now, we do need a goalie, so I think I'm going to take Jordan Binnington from the St. Louis Blues. 87 overall. $6 million is pretty hefty of a contract, but we're paying Grubauer not even to start, so it is what it is. We got him in the trade block as well as a third, and a fourth round pick. And they do not want to give that up. So let's go to skaters matching the block here and see if there's anybody. Maybe give them a prospect into the trade to make it go through. I will add in another low prospect to see if this trade will go through. They're still rejecting it, so I'm going to have to bring in that second round pick, our final second round pick that we own. And there we go. Not too much deliberate about this deal. We got our goalie for the rest of the video. Take a look at the new look Seattle Kraken. Zegras, Johnston, and Laffy on the first line, followed by Batherson, Wright, and McCann. We have literally a +5 in our top 6, followed with an 85 overall third line center, Ridley Gregg and Eberle as the wingers. Even our fourth line is not that bad defensively. Dunn and Korchinski, Montour, Valimaki. And then we got Larson and Oleksiak. And in goal, an 87 overall starter in Binner and an 82 backup in Joey Decord. In my opinion, I think we are a much better team compared to year number 1. We should be able to sim better. The only thing we don't have is that next level superstar. Why Johnston could possibly be that. So it is now time to name a captain here in Seattle. Kevin Korchinski. Actually, Vince Dunn, you're going to get an A. Korchinski's a little too young. For another A, I guess I'm going to give it to Alex Lafreniere. Where is he at here? There is Laffy. Laffy can get an A. And the C will go on the sweater of Wyatt Johnston. Actually, I have had a change of heart. Shane Wright is the brand new captain of the Seattle Kraken. Now, we were a lot better before the trade deadline, but usually in my simulations, we simulate horribly after the trade deadline. 42, 31, and 9, 93 points as we do make the playoffs. 4th in the Pacific as the Edmonton Oilers. They would end up winning 60 games and winning that President's Trophy. Toronto was good. St. Louis, Carolina, and Winnipeg were all up there. Top 5 in the league. Wyatt Johnston will put up 52 goals and 107 points. So he's simming like an absolute superstar right now. Brendan Montour has 72. Lafreniere had 62. Jarrett McCann was okay. Shane Wright, who is the captain of the team, led us to a playoff berth. And in goal, Jordan Binnington only had a .906 and 1 shutout, 31 wins. Very mid-season overall. I mean, I was probably expecting like a .915 save percentage. I'm not going to lie. Cale Makar will win the Art Ross with 111 points, one more than Mac Daddy McKinnon as well as McDavid, Aho, Johnston 107, and nobody else even hit 100 points. That's crazy. And for the goal side, we had 3 50-goal scorers, Shaq Hyman at 57, Johnston 52, and Nathan McKinnon 51. Austin Matthews, I guess, is washed in this universe. Connor Bedard put up 45. He's been pretty consistent. Brock Nelson at 43. And in year number 2, in the first round of the playoffs, we have to face literally the best team in the league, the 60-win Edmonton Oilers. Rip to the Kraken. Despite the fact that their backs are against the wall, down 0-3 in the series, Seattle on home ice is having a very valiant effort. Okay, McDavid cuts the lead to 2. Not great. 5-2. It was like 5-1 at one point, I believe. But so far, so good. Maybe we can even hop in and see us finally win a playoff game. It might be the only game that we win the entire video. All right, here we are. 136 to go. 2-goal lead for the Kraken. This might be the only playoff game that we win the entire video. So why not hop in, take a look, and celebrate with the team. Holloway coming in. Oh no, Holloway no longer a member of the Edmonton Oilers, as Jordan Binnington will cover that puck up. This rink is massive and very beautiful. I would love to go there and actually experience a Kraken game. Those big glass doors as well. It's a new arena also. Oh my God, Jared, or was that Wyatt Johnston that just missed the wide open net? I don't know why he tried rifling it. Bar down Zegras. Why is Trevor Zegras? Oh my God, empty net. And Zegras elects to pass the puck instead of shooting it into the empty net. Regardless, the Seattle Kraken have won a playoff game. There we go. We get it done. We will not get swept, and we will force a game number 5 back in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I really hope in NHL 25 the computer AI is much, much better, because Trevor Zegras, empty net, right in front of the net. I mean, just shoot it. Literally just shoot the puck right away. I know Evan Bouchard is in the way. I realize that. But you're not going to pass the puck to a guy that's covered. Leon Draisaitl just easily picks that puck off. Look, intercepts it. And then Jeff Skinner picks it up, and they're gone the other way. They had time for another rush, so they technically could have went down and scored another goal. Albeit, it's a 2-goal hockey game. But at the end of the day, Trevor Zegras definitely, as soon as he touched the puck right here, he should have ripped it right in the back of the net. We need to put up a fight. No, Leon Draisaitl will give them the insurance marker here in game number 5. We're down 3-1 in the series and 3-1 in the game halfway through the third. It is not looking too good. Show some heart here, Seattle. Come on, put up a fight. And I think that might do it for the Kraken season here in year number 2, as the Oilers will defeat us in 5 games in round number 1. The Boston Bruins will go all the way and defeat the Preds in game 7 of the finals. No, Steven Stamkos loses in the finals yet again for the 3rd time in his career. Where did the Oilers go? The Oilers only made it to the conference finals, and that was it. But again, we have one more year to try to go ahead and win the Kraken a Stanley Cup. Wyatt Johnston led our team in scoring. He only had 2 goals and 4 points, so nobody was even at point per game. Shane Wright performed. That's why he's the captain. McCann was okay. Batherson, And if we take a look at Binner had a 917, 3 goals against, but a 917 is serviceable. McDavid again will take home the Conn Smythe and Hart Trophy. Art Ross to Cale Makar. Maurice Richard will go to Shaq Hyman. The Norris also to Makar. The Conn Smythe to Charlie McAvoy. UC Saros will win the Vezina, and Sean Couturier the Selke. We get back Wyatt Johnston as well as Ridley Gregg. Adam Larson re-signed, and Kyler Yamamoto is coming back for another season. We got Brandon Tanev with those crazy ass eyes. We have one final season to win this team a Stanley Cup. Same forward core. I didn't make any moves. There's not really too many moves we can make. We don't have any salary cap. We don't have any assets to trade either. I will look at the trade deadline to try to upgrade my team. But I mean, our bottom 6, exactly the same. Very good team offensively. Defensively, we're pretty good with Dunn and Korchinski as our top line pair. Even Valimaki and Montour are good. Larson and Alexiak. And then in goal, Jordan Binnington has dropped down to an 84 overall, which isn't great, and Coco also is an 84. So these guys, they're probably going to end up splitting the games over the course of an 82 regular season. Here we go at the trade deadline. Slap me, silly Sydney. I'm picking you up. I got to dump some salary considering your contract's pretty big. Maybe Jarrett McCann, get you the hell out of here. There we go. A first and McCann for Sid the Kid, and it is an absolute no-brainer for Pittsburgh. Welcome Crosby, a top 5 player all time, the 5th best player in NHL history. Luckily, we made the playoffs yet again, this time being the 2nd best team in the Pacific, 49, 26, and 7, 105 points, only behind the Vancouver Canucks in our division, as they were the best team in the league. We were a top 4 team, so this is our best shot at going on a deep playoff run and winning the Stanley Cup. Wyatt Johnston, again, another great season, 39 goals, 99 points. Crosby had 77, Laffy had 65, but Neers was decent. Korchinski was good as a D-man, and for Jordan Binnington and Kako, they split the games, and both were pretty decent. Not bad save percentage by either men. Jaeger Furcus will lead or tie for the most points in the NHL alongside Bedsy. Both had 109 apiece. If we take a look at the goals side, tell me Egg Matthews will have the most with 51, past the 50. I mean, this Furcus guy, top 6 high potential at 21, and he's putting up these type of numbers. Dear God, I'm going to have to start going after him. And now in round number 1, oh my God, we got to face the Edmonton Oilers again. We're going to get absolutely our booty cheeks mangled. Somehow, some way, we actually beat the Oilers. We were up 3-0. I thought we were going to blow it, but we finished them in 6. And now we take on Vancouver, who won the President's Trophy in round number 2. And now in the conference finals, we're facing the San Jose Sharks. What? How the hell in year 3 are San Jose this goddamn good? I don't understand. I know they have a good future, but 3 years is a little too quick. And in year number 3, the Seattle Kraken will play for Lord Stanley up against the New York Rangers in the finals. Swept the Sharks. I don't know how we got here, but we are here. Can we go on in the final season and take home the Stanley Cup? The Kraken are less than 16 minutes away from raising the Stanley Cup. Lafreniere will give us an insurance marker, up 3-0 over the New York Rangers. Can we get it done? There we go. Vince Dunn, a 6-3 lead for the Kraken. Here we go. 2:20 left to go in the third period. A 7-3 lead for the Kraken. The Stanley Cup is in the building as we are going to sweep the New York Rangers in the Stanley Cup Finals. I was literally beginning to think I would never win another Stanley Cup in this series because I went through a dry spell there not winning. There we go. Trevor Zegras. The Kraken are on top, baby. I thought I was never going to win another Stanley Cup. It's been so long in this series since I've won a cup, especially since we started doing the 3-year rebuilds. It has taken way too long, but finally, we are now 20 seconds away. The Rangers fans are booing. I mean, how could you not? An 8-3 game on home ice. You guys got absolutely embarrassed. You got your cheeks spread and clapped viciously. It is not over till it's over. 5 seconds to go as the Seattle Kraken in year number 3 will get the job done and take home the Stanley Cup as they sweep the New York Rangers in 4 straight games in the finals. I did not think this team was going to be a Stanley Cup contending team, especially in year 3. I didn't make too many moves, and I didn't have to, clearly. We just needed our young guys to grow in overall and become absolute studs. Guys like Shane Wright, Wyatt Johnston, Kevin Korchinski on the back end. We picked up Crosby, who definitely helped us in the playoffs. His leadership and experience. And the Conn Smythe Trophy will go to none other than Sid, baby. 32 points in the playoff run. Crosby just had his greatest playoff run with the Seattle Kraken. At 38 years old, Crosby puts up 11 goals and 32 points. Literally, that trade at the trade deadline won us the Stanley Cup. If we don't make that, we don't win the cup. And here comes our captain, Sugar Shane Wright, coming to lift the Stanley Cup as the Kraken are going to go all the way here in year number 3. Crosby was literally the only reason why we went on and won the Stanley Cup. 32 points, a career high at 38 years old in the playoffs is insane. We picked him up at the deadline, and he won us that Stanley Cup, baby. Would you take a look at that? Dear God, Wyatt Johnston and Sidney Crosby both had the same exact stat lines. They were lethal, and they played on 2 different lines. Well, I got the job done with Seattle. We got it done in year number 3 with Sid the Kid leading us to a Stanley Cup, winning the Conn Smythe Trophy. Might be the oldest Conn Smythe Trophy winner in NHL history. I have no idea. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. I would like to say thank you all for watching. And until next time, don't be silly.